Signs you might be a genius. What is it exactly that makes someone a genius? Is it their general knowledge? Is it their ability to make money? Is it their quick understanding of challenging scientific equations that the majority of us think is more like gibberish than anything else? According to our list, it could be none of those factors, but things that you might be doing every day, and all this time you didn't even realize that you were a secret genius. Number 30. Night owl. Studies have confirmed that people who like to stay up late tend to show signs of high intelligence. But it goes against the old saying of early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, doesn't it? One argument for this fact is that people with higher intelligence have evolved from our ancestors, who would go to bed when the sun sets and rise when the sun does. However, we're not staying up late every night so people think you're smart, as that's not a very intelligent thing to do. Number 29. A limited edition. Geniuses tend to be completely different to everyone else. They generally have a quirky sense of style, possibly a little eccentric, don't quite fit in with the regular crowd, but why would you want to anyway? People with higher intelligence tend to believe in the more obscure things like aliens or life on other planets. So if this sounds a little like you, embrace it and just know there's a genius hiding in there somewhere. Number 28. A big ask. People with higher intelligence tend to ask a lot of questions. You probably know someone just like that. A brilliant mind is always seeking answers, like why does my coffee taste better when I put the milk in first? And will we ever have answers about the nature versus nurture debate, and why does time exist? If you've found yourself asking these important questions, then you're probably a genius in disguise. Number 27. Look who's talking. At least now you know you're not crazy. Talking to yourself is said to be a sign that you're a genius. Experts believe that by doing this, it helps you concentrate and get your thoughts in order, helping you to achieve your desired outcome. Number 26. Know yourself. A strong sense of self-awareness and being introspective about your life is a really good sign of higher intelligence. Charles Dickens was an extremely introspective man who would often walk 12 miles just to get away from the world and be alone with his own mind and thoughts. These walks afforded him time and space to ensure that his writing was all it could be and more. Number 25. Born this way. You're lucky if you're the oldest child, because research has proven that firstborns tend to be substantially brighter than their siblings. It probably has a lot to do with the fact that they had their parents' undivided attention for a few years before the next one came along, which then meant the older child also becomes a teacher. A study was done in Norway where 250,000 firstborn children were tested, and it showed that they had an average IQ 2.3 points higher than their younger brothers and sisters. Number 24. Just kidding. They say sarcasm is the lowest form of wit, but according to studies of intelligent people, it could be a sign of being a genius. Don't go overboard though. What they found was a link between creativity and sarcasm, and those that dished out the sarcasm allowed more room for thought and promoted conceptualization. Number 23. Bat those baby blues. You wouldn't think that physical features would come into play when it comes to how smart you are, but apparently it does. People who have blue eyes and who are slender and tall tend to be more intelligent than their brown-eyed, shorter counterparts. Blue-eyed people perform better at school, are better at strategic thinking, and can work well on their own. People who were slenderer also performed better on vocabulary tests, according to PowerPositivity.com. Number 22. Bookworm. Those that like to read are generally more intelligent than those that don't enjoy it. It doesn't take a genius to figure out why this might be the case, so this weekend, instead of going partying with your friends, download a classic novel and get reading. Number 21. In good company. If you only have a few treasured friends, well, we have good news for you. You could potentially be a genius. With fewer people to interact with, your life will have less stress and social anxiety, and you'll have more time to focus on yourself. Number 20. Get your head around this. If you're prone to using both sides of your brain, you're potentially a very clever and creative person. For example, if you love writing, you're using the creative side of your brain, but you also have to think analytically and strategically in order for the plot to make sense and be worth reading. Number 19. You're a lefty? Congratulations! You're way more intelligent than those regular folks who use their right hands. You retain information easily, you have excellent mental flexibility, and you're a divergent thinker. Lucky you. Number 18. Don't worry, be happy. Not that easy if you're a genius. If you overthink everything and worry a lot, it could mean that you've been hiding the fact that you're a genius at heart. Overthinking and worrying shows that you have an active imagination. So next time you're worrying, try to use that and be creative. The results may surprise you. Number 17. I'm all ears. If you're a good listener, it's just another sign that you could be a genius. Highly intelligent people like to listen and absorb new information. Number 16. No challenge too great. If you like to constantly challenge yourself, then you might just be a secret genius. A true genius always challenges themselves and stimulates their brain as often as they can, whether it be mind-bending games, riddles, crosswords. No challenge is too big or too small. Number 15. Take your time. If you like to take your time and do things properly as opposed to rushing to get the job done, that is another sign of higher intelligence. Focusing your energy on one task at a time as opposed to multitasking is a clever way of going about work, and it ultimately means that the job has been done perfectly. Number 14. A little indecisive. Do you catch yourself thinking one thing and going ahead and doing something completely different? Hard to believe, but the experts say that's a sign of being a genius. The experts believe it means you're more creative, empathetic, and are able to see many different viewpoints. Number 13. Crack a smile. Consider yourself a bit of a joker, able to make people burst out laughing and feel good about themselves? That's brilliant, because it's a sign that you're a genius. Comedians always score higher on IQ tests, as a good sense of humor is directly linked to creativity, excellent conversational skills, which in turn also makes them more attractive. A winning combo all around. Number 12. From one extreme to the next. People with higher intelligence are said to suffer from social anxiety. The reasoning behind this is that people with a higher IQ are constantly assessing their surroundings, making sure they understand what is happening around them and processing the information that is taking place around them, all of which takes a lot of thinking and intelligence. Number 11. Scatterbrain. If disorganized is your middle name, take heart, you could be a genius. You always lose something. Car keys, sunglasses, your mind, you're a genius. It's been said that messiness is an indicator of intelligence. We don't know about you then, but we must be seriously clever. The fact that you can succeed in such disarray is admirable. Number 10. Jump to it. People who have higher IQs tend to steer away from jumping to conclusions. They weigh up all the options first before making an informed decision. Even if they have a hunch of what is real or not, they still consider every angle before deciding. Number 9. Cat person. Sorry to be brutally honest, but research confirms that cat lovers are more intelligent than dog lovers. Those that preferred cats over dogs were more open-minded and generally nonconformists. The study was carried out by Carroll University in Wisconsin, and it concluded that dog lovers love to be out there with their dogs, chatting to people and being social, whereas cat lovers were content to be home and quiet with their feline companion. Number 8. Pretty as a picture. If there's a scrap piece of paper and a pen lying around and you're instantly drawn to doodling, it's a sure sign that you're a lot smarter than others. Doodling is a great way to come up with new concepts, helps you retain information, and brings out ideas at the strangest of times, often leading to exciting developments. Number 7. Dream big. Find yourself drifting away very easily with thoughts and ideas that have nothing to do with what's in front of you? Don't worry too much, it's actually a good sign. Daydreaming and taking regular breaks from your task at hand gives you an opportunity to explore other options and nurture big ideas. Most children who daydream end up being highly successful adults. Number 6. Curiouser and curiouser. See a bit of yourself in Alice from Alice in Wonderland. You could be harboring signs that you're a genius. An insatiable curiosity about everything will put you in good stead, so devour books, watch every newscast, learn new concepts as often as you're able. Number 5. One-woman man. This point leans a little more towards men, according to Dr. Satoshi Kanazawa of the London School of Economics and Political Science, who says that the majority of women prefer monogamous relationships anyway. He believes that men with higher IQs tend to prefer a monogamous relationship as opposed to the opposite. Whether you're in agreement with this point or not, we'll leave you to think about it. Number 4. Time to delegate. People who are more intelligent than others know when to delegate tasks, leaving themselves free to focus on the more challenging tasks at hand. Perhaps you don't even realize you're doing it, and the fact that people are accepting the tasks without questioning is another sign that your intelligence level might be a little superior. Number 3. Escape from reality. We all like to take a break from reality, but the majority of us will turn on the television or spend a little time on social media. Those that lean towards being a genius would rather spend their time doing brain teasers like crosswords, as we mentioned earlier, Sudoku, brain teasers online, and so forth, and each time you're trying to better your previous score. Number 2. Hobby of choice. You've got to love research and the weird results that often stem from certain studies, like this one that claims people who are seriously, secretly intelligent will often have a weird hobby or a bizarre collection. Number 1. A little unwell. If your mom suffered from really bad morning sickness, chances are you're a really bright person. Researchers took 121 Canadian children whose mothers had battled with morning sickness between the ages of 3 and 7 and found that they had scored substantially higher in IQ tests, in memory, and even language skills. Dr. Irina Nolman says the findings confirm that morning sickness during pregnancy could be favorable for children long term. Have you ticked any of these boxes we've mentioned today? If so, enjoy the feeling of being a genius, even if it's just for a day. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more daily videos.